I am sitting, I am standing, I am walking. You are considering these two things, that you exist and that you are aware of your existence. That is how you are able to say I am. So this I am means Sat and Chit only. They are the only characteristics for that. No names or forms or any other thing. Now with this knowledge of I am being only Sat and Chit, now you look back and see what's happening. In the entire room, you see Sat and Chit. That is means you are there in the form of I am. This I am is there as Sat and Chit. The I am is there in the body outside and inside. It is there in the mind associated with every thought. So this I am, if I now question where is this I am, invariably your answer will be I am everywhere as Sat and Chit. So when at this beginning of this inquiry, you ask the question where is this I am, you will say I am is inside the body. I am speaking from within. But at the end of the inquiry, again if I raise the question where is this I am, the answer is different. The answer is I am everywhere. But then what is this everywhere? Well, here immediately we talk only about this room and hall and all that. But if we go outside to entire Delhi, for example, the whole Delhi, whatever I see there, it will be associated with Sat and Chit, existence and awareness. That means I am everywhere, wherever I go. And look at the sun, 15-12 kilometers away. It exists. And we are aware of its existence. Existence and awareness is there. And it has got a name and a form. So the solar system also filled with Sat and Chit. And you go beyond that. Go into the Milky Way galaxy, millions of stars and all that. Each star bigger than our sun. And all these are filled with Sat and Chit. It exists and we are aware of its existence. So the same applies to the galaxies. That means I am everywhere means I am everywhere in the universe. In the entire universe I am present. Now this is what they say is Jivatma. If you confine this I am to a limited environment and a limited body. But if you expand this I am and say I am everywhere and include the entire universe in this word everywhere, then that means you are referring to Sachidananda Parabrahman, something infinite. Brahman, Brahman they say. You see the Mahavakyas, Prajnanam Brahma it says, Rigveda, Aitareya Upanishad. And then Aham Brahmasmi, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Yajurveda. And then you say in Samaveda, Chandogya Upanishad, the word that, Tattvamasi. And the last thing, Mandukya Upanishad, Adharvana Veda, Ayam Atma Brahma. Brahma, Brahma they are saying. What is Brahman? Brahman means vast, very, very vast. How vast? That big of the solar system? Nonsense, it is nothing. Galaxy, Milky Way galaxy? No, this is a small galaxy. There is Andromeda which is double this size. There are other galaxies which are bigger perhaps. And innumerable galaxies there are. So when you say Brahman, it must include all these things. So that is that Upanishad sloka, Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnameva Avasishyate. All the visible and invisible Brahman, universe has come out of the Brahman. Even though the visible and invisible universe have come out of the Brahman, Brahman is still infinite. This is one way of interpreting it according to some. Anyway, when you raise the question, who am I? Where am I? And if you go on inquiring like this, you will find that this I am means Sat and Chit. But then they say Sachidananda. In Ramana Maharishi's booklet, Who Am I? He argues this way. You are not the hands, you are not the Indriyas and so on and so forth. Finally, then if we are not all this, what am I? That question raised by the devotee, he gives the answer, you are pure awareness. What is the nature of this awareness? Sachidananda is this. Sachidananda it seems. But where is the Ananda here? Sat and Chit, all right, we have now identified. But where is Ananda? Now everybody experiences every day this Ananda in deep sleep condition. The whole of Mandukya is a discussion about the three states, Avasthatraya Vicharana. And there, when you go into this third state, there is no names and forms which are present in the Jagrata and Swapna states. No name and form. The Raman Rupa world is completely disappeared. And pure I am alone is there. And the result is he experiences peace and happiness. In the morning, anybody goes into deep sleep condition, Goddess Sushupti says in the morning when he gets up, I slept soundly, peaceful and happily. Where did he get this peace and happiness? He attributes happiness to bungalows, bank balances, wives, husbands, etc. in wakeful condition. But they are not there here. None of them are there. His own body has forgotten. And yet, he says he slept soundly, peaceful and happily. Without all these adjuncts. So, if you remain as pure I am, pure Sat and Chit, you will automatically experience peace and happiness because that is the nature of Sat and Chit. And why are we not experiencing it in the very wakeful condition? Because you clumsily attach the Sat and Chit or I am to various objects. I am this, I am that, I am male, female, I am short, long, tall and all these things. That is, you are getting into a confused state in the Jagrata Avastha. Whereas in the deep sleep condition, you are in your natural state, that is pure I am state, and consequently you enjoy peace and happiness also, which is your nature, which is the nature of that Sat and Chit. But then, the Sat and Chit is everywhere. But how is it that many people are not aware of this? 99% are not aware. Only one small percent, restricted to a Ramakrishna, a Ramana, and a few others like that. Self-realized saints, they are experiencing all right. They are talking about it. They are saying that it is very easy. Very easy, says Ramana. You are that. Be the self. You are the self, he says. So it seems to be very simple. But where is the self, they say? Because they are attached to the body, they are unable to get out of that particular body I am idea. Body I am and mind I am idea. That is the obstacle. So that is why Vivekananda says the first step is in spirituality is to do that. But what we call spirituality and religion goes in the opposite direction. You do things which strengthen your body I am idea and all that. So we must be very careful. If you would want to achieve that particular Satchidananda state or Satchidananda Parabrahman state, it is there already. You are not going to get a new. Only have to remove the obstacle. Suppose I cover myself with this cloth. Your face is not visible. My face is not visible to you. I need not bring your face or my face. I simply remove this cloth which covers me. The sun is there. He is not visible. A cloud has come over him. The sun is already there. He is always there. What all you have to do is remove the cloud. The sun will be visible. So also Satchidananda Parabrahman is always there, everywhere, at all times and everywhere, but is being covered by this cloud of ignorance. What is ignorance? Ignorance is identifying yourself with something which you are not. Identifying, recognizing unreal as real. This is ignorance. Recognizing real as real, that is knowledge. First thing they talk about is protoplasm and cells, because all living world is made up of cells. Cell theory is there. Slide and Schwann discovered in England, in Europe, in 1930s or so, and that says that all bodies of the living things are made up of cells. And all physiological, living activities, physiological activities or metabolism is carried on by cells. So, cells are the physical and physiological basis of life. That is the definition they give. And in human body, there are billions of cells. And the cells, they live for some time and then they get destroyed and new cells are being formed. So, construction and destruction is going on continuously at the cellular level. And each cell is a bit of protoplasm, they say, a living substance. There are organisms whose body consists of only single cell. This is what I show in the microscope to some of these Vedanta students. And it is transparent, jelly-like substance, this protoplasm. And it is the same in all living things. I am made up of protoplasm, and people ask me, why do you name yourself protoplasm? I am protoplasm, all right, but you are also protoplasm. Not only we, all the living bodies are made up of protoplasm. So we are all related. We are protoplasm bandhus, relatives, basically. So they started even when I was working there, and later on when I heard, I said, not brother protoplasm, but Yogi Protoplasm. And whenever I use this name for these classes and all that, and invariably this question crops up in the minds of the participants. They ask, and I said, because you are going to ask that question, I named, because I named myself like that, you are raising this question. And I want you to raise that question, so that I may tell you that you are made up of protoplasm, something which has no form, particular form, but takes all the forms, like Brahman. And it is a very good example for Brahman. Now in the Shastras, they give the example of gold and clay. Gold ornaments are many, but all the ornaments are made up of gold only. So there are so many things in this, so much of diversity in this world, but there is a unity behind this diversity, namely Satchidananda Parabrahman. Existence and awareness and bliss is common to all, and everywhere it is there. So this is what the biologists have discovered. That all living organisms start their life as a single cell, small bit of protoplasm. And in that bit of protoplasm, everything about that organism is written down in a code language, genetic code language they say. For example, in the human being, 30,000 genes are there in that nucleus in every cell. There are billions of cells, and in every cell there is a nucleus having 30,000 genes, and in those 30,000 genes, everything about that organism is written down in a genetic code language, and it is a 4-letter language, ATGC. And in these 4 letters, you find by permutation combination all the characteristics you find in the living world. Such a baffling diversity is there in the living world. And all this, and in each separate species and living organism, it is written down. That is what they claim. And so astonishing is this wonderful creation. Previously, we used to see only organisms, organs, and then later on systems, respiratory system and so on, and then cells, and finally subatomic these things, smaller thing called DNA and genes and all that. And in this panoramic advancement of science, we find astonishing facts. And all the facts were there, unrevealed for crores of years. Only in the last 100, 150 years, you find the scientists unraveling these mysteries. You see, scientists only unravel what is already there. What is already there they are doing. And they are also claiming that they are going to imitate that and do it similarly. They are claiming it since several years, and they find that it is not so easy. But then nonchalantly, this has been going on since crores of years. And they talk about dinosaurs and all that in another age, millions of years ago. What a spectacle of diversity there even. Gigantic bodies. And they are also made up of the same protoplasm and DNA and all that. And in the present day world, bacteria are there, and virus is there with a single DNA molecule and a cover of protein. It's like their body like that, just molecules, 2 molecules. And so many varieties there. So much of diversity in their designs. And starting from there, right up to the whales and the elephants and so on, big organisms, biggest organisms in the living world. Well, they are also made up of protoplasm, cells, and then this DNA, genes, and their story being written in that genetic language. So, I am coming to that. We are going to analyze the Panchakosha Vishleshana will come, and we are just touching in a general way how this miracle of life manifested in the form of this diversity, baffling diversity, has got a unique unity behind it. And it is this unique thing called Satchidananda Parabrahman is also equally mysterious and equally baffling. It is one behind the many. And this principle of unity and diversity, now propagated by Vedanta, initiated, emphasized by Vedanta, is manifesting at all levels. You take anything in this world, you will find, for example, human species. But what diversity is there? There are the Africans, Chinese, Americans, and Indians, and so on and so forth. Diversity is there. At the same time, they are all human beings. So also at every level. Take for example cells. There are all our cells. All bodies are made up of cells. But there is so much of diversity. Skin cells are there, muscle cells are there, bone cells are there, and in other bodies so many other different types of cells are there. Diversity is there. At the same time, when you go deep into it, you will find all of them are made up of same protoplasm, same transparent substance, and so on. So diversity and unity. At all levels you find. Atoms are many, but atoms belong to the 100 elements. And there are differences in the structure of the atom, the number of electrons and so on and so forth. So diversity is there, unity also is there. So the whole phenomena of this world and the universe is filled by, controlled and regulated by this single principle. Single principle, unity and diversity is manifesting at all levels. Now in school, college levels also they introduce this subject. For example in India, but unfortunately they don't understand it properly, and the headmaster or principal puts it in some department. For example, here they talk about sociology department should teach about unity and diversity, and India is one, many states are there. So that to that extent. But actually this principle should be taught in botany class, zoology class, and then chemistry, physics class, and so on and so on. Take for example physics. You have got so many types of energies, light energy, sound energy, magnetic energy, and so on and so forth. But now they find that the whole thing is a single energy's diverse manifestation, different avatars of a single energy, electromagnetic spectrum they say, and so on. So anyway, the unity and diversity principle is there universally and at all levels, micro as well as macro levels. So this is what we try to convey during these classes in these 7 days. And we begin with Panchakosha Visleshana. And Panchakosha Visleshana, yes.
Explain that to us.
Yes, the Panchakoshas, it seems human being has got Annamaya Kosha and then Pranamaya Kosha. See, 5 koshas, 3 bodies they talk about. Physical body, and then there is a Sukshma Sharira, subtle body, and there is the causal body, Anandamaya Kosha, like that. Now the 3 bodies are there and 5 koshas are there, and the first sheath is Annamaya Kosha. That is the physical body.
Huh? Why is it called a kosha?
You see, they are there, because they are there, they are talking about it. Kosha now this, kosha means something, a covering, one covering over the other. Something like shirt, bunion, coat, etc. And all of them are here, one inside the other, as it were. And simultaneously they function. And for example, I am doing eating and all that. That is, I am at this Annamaya Kosha level. Physical body is there. And they have described it in different ways and so on in our Shastras. But the modern biology treats it in a different way. And it immediately proves that it is not what you think it is. You think you are made up of hands, feet and all that. Different organs, different systems also, doing specific functions. But then they say that all these things are superstitious ideas. Suppose you eat, you say you are eating with your mouth and your stomach is filled with food and so it's over and all that. And but actually the various living activities are taking place in the cells according to biology. This is what they have proved. Now you take food, say dosa, idli or whatever it is, full of carbohydrates, made up of rice starch and all that. And you put it in the mouth, you masticate it, you mix it with all the saliva and all that, and push it inside. And it goes into the stomach. And we say digestion is taking place, both in the mouth as well as in the stomach. And some enzymes are secreted in the mouth as well as in the walls of the stomach. They are thrown on the food and they are digested. What do you mean by digesting? A complex molecule like the starch is reduced into a very simple carbohydrate called glucose. So it is a successive stage of chemical reactions. It is all biochemistry, digestion. And it involves so many chemicals which are manufactured in the body itself. And most mysterious ones are the enzymes, and which perform chemical reactions at body temperature. Whereas the same chemical reaction, if you want to do it outside in the laboratory, will require enormous heat, a heat which may even burn up the body. But it's not happening inside the body in the various biochemical activities that are going on in the body because of the enzymes. And these things, they catalyze the chemical reactions, but at body temperature. Anyway, you find the body is a very, very mysterious, miraculous thing. In several ways, the structures are miracles. The eye is a miracle, the nose is a miracle, and their functions also are miracle. So astonishing. And each is important by itself. So that is what the scientists have revealed. So the more you understand all the science of biology of the various organs in the body, the more astonishing you become. But the question is, who has made all these things? Take for example, in Annamaya Kosha, in this course, we ask them to study the skeleton. Do meditation on skeleton, we say. Your own skeleton, not somebody's skeleton, your own skeleton. You touch and you feel the bones. There are 200 odd bones, and some big, some very small. And they are joined together by joints, different kinds again. Here is ball and socket near the shoulder, and then near the elbow there is a hinge joint, and sliding joint here. And each finger has got 3 bones and 2 joints. So bones and joints is the structural feature of the skeleton. But then it involves so many mechanical engineering principles. The ball and socket is a mechanical engineering principle. The hinge is that which you use in the doors and all that. Now the question is, who made this? Did he make? You are the mechanical engineer who made this skeleton? Do you know anything about mechanical engineering principles? And yet you are performing this, is it? And what about the biochemical reaction that takes place in digestion, process of digestion? And who is performing that? He must be a biochemist, having a biochemical knowledge. Whatever that particular power is, so that mysterious power which is performing all these things. I am telling you only 1 or 2 things, but there are umpteen things going on in the body of which you know nothing and which involve a lot of science and scientific principles. So whatever the mysterious power is that is performing all these physiological activities must be having enormous knowledge. It must be having a mechanical engineering knowledge, biochemical knowledge, physics knowledge. There is communication going on, telecommunication system is there, transport system is there. And all these things, when you just visualize, you see structurally and functionally this body is a great miracle. But the question is, who is the director of the cinema? Who is the producer of the cinema? Now in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna asserts, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. I am the director also. And if one knows it and worships me like that, well, he is a wise person like that, he says. But anyway, there is some mysterious power and that is operating this. They call it Chit Shakti, Chaitanya Shakti or Atma Shakti. It means intelligent power. It has no particular name. And these Sanskrit words mean that it is an intelligent, conscious power. And it knows everything about the body. But they don't accept, the scientists. They'll say, we don't know anything about mysterious power and all that. It is all nature. They use the word nature. And our people also use that. Prakriti they call it. Prakriti and Purusha. Those are the terms they use. This is all Prakriti, no doubt. But there is a director for this. And Purusha is there. An intelligent being. It is not going on mechanically, no. An intelligent director is there, they say, according to them. And the director is also a power, intelligent power.
And is this...
So we just take that example only, but there are so many other systems and bodily structures which are equally miraculous, and you have to raise the question, who made them and who is running them?
Is this mysterious power the same as Satchitananda, as Parabrahman?
That is what they say. Satchidananda power is that, but it doesn't directly act. It simply is. We shall come to it later stage. And I give specific examples also for that. And then we go on to the next kosha, the Pranamaya kosha. The Pranamaya kosha deals with the physiological activities in the body. And we take one example, namely blood circulation. You see, the heart is beating, and this the blood is circulated through the arteries and veins, blood vessels. But then, as many times the heart beats, so many times there is pulsation in the body, in every part of the body. And doctors hold this wrist and they try to count the number of beats of the heart. And of course with stethoscope directly they try to learn about it. So it's going on everywhere in the body. And yet we do not know anything about it. We have to hold it that way or put a stethoscope. Why? It is your body, your blood vessels, and you must be able to know about what's going on there. So this is the argument. Using this argument, we try this as an exercise in this. One is to see the skeleton. And when you see the skeleton, you also look at the operator. Some mysterious power is operating the skeleton. The skeleton by itself cannot walk and do the intelligent things. It has to be operated by some intelligent power. And you are not evidently the skeleton covered by skin and muscle. Discard this idea that you are this body. Dehatma bhavana chodo. And Chaitanya Atma bhavana must be strengthened, because you are that mysterious intelligent power evidently operating all these things, though you are not aware. It is being done at the subconscious level. This is the conscious level, and there is the ego. You say, I am doing. Whereas in the subconscious level, you don't have that ego sense, but things are carried on by you in a subconscious way. And they claim that there is a superconscious level also. We shall come to it presently. Now, so in the Annam Pranamaya Kosha, you deal with the Prana Shakti that is operating. They claim that there is a mysterious electrical form of energy called Prana Shakti, which operates all these things. And one example we studied, namely blood circulation. It is a very wonderful thing, a transport system which is 6 times bigger than the Indian railway system and carries 6 times the commuters. You find people going and materials are being transported. And here also, all the things you eat and all food materials, various kinds, and the various chemicals that are formed, hormones, enzymes, all these things, they are transported from one place to another place through the bloodstream. And then when the cells produce waste products by chemical reactions, you find those things are also put into the bloodstream, and they carry them to the excretory organs, the kidneys and the skin and so on and so forth. So both of them, they are there. Good food and all articles are there, excretory articles are there, but they are not getting mixed up. And what is more, they know where to go. All the waste products go to kidney and other excretory organs, whereas the other things go to the places where they should go. For example, there are hormones which produce the hair. Suppose the hormone goes to the wrong place, into your mouth or nose, and produces hairs there. Now, what a tragedy it would be. But such a thing is not happening. It is an indication of the electrical form of energy, prana shakti, and you regulating this, you can get a control over that prana shakti. So, pranayama, not only breathing, but it is related to that prana shakti, which can be regulated by this. You can, according to people.
What is prana? What is prana? Is it energy? Is it a substance?
No, it is a mysterious form of energy. Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi explains in Upadesara that there is a mysterious power, and it branches off into two, one prana shakti and another mind, manas shakti. This is intelligent power, and this is a power which is no intelligence but is guided by the manas, mind. All this prana shakti. You can direct the prana shakti to any part of the body, cure diseases according to them. And the disease are there according to them is due to the deficiency in the prana shakti in a particular locality. And if we can rectify that deficiency, well, automatically the disease will be cured, according to these people who believe in prana shakti. And they classify it, prana, apana, sapana, yama, udana, and all that. And they perform different functions. And the vayus, that is the various types of prana shakti acting through the breathing process and so on. Now anyway, there is a separate shastra called Swara Shastra. Swara Yoga Chintamani, Swara Yoga, Siva Swara Yoga Shastra, like that. And they deal only about this nadis. Nadi means the process of breathing, the voice going to different parts. They call them Surya Nadi, Chandra Nadi and so on. They attribute special power. That is the influence of the brain. Now scientists talk about right brain, left brain. There people talk about Surya Nadi, Chandra Nadi. And they say if Chandra Nadi is running, you will have a peaceful mind. Whereas the right Surya Nadi runs, the argumentative tendency will be there and so on. But when they examine, the scientists have examined this and correlation between the right and left brain and the Surya Nadi, Chandra Nadi, they find that there is a correlation. Whenever the Chandra Nadi functions, it is the right brain that functions. And whenever the Surya Nadi functions, the left brain functions, it seems. And the characteristics they attribute to right and left brain and the Surya Nadi, Chandra Nadi are correlated. So I am is pure awareness, consciousness, existence, and it is non-material. Whereas here also it is non-material, but it is related to activities which are material. Whereas that is totally dissociated from the material things. And yet, if it is there, all these things go on automatically, and we will see that presently. We will come to that stage. Now, after Pranamaya Kosha, you go to the Manomaya Kosha. The Manomaya Kosha, they deal with the mind. And mind study is a very extraordinary field. It is a very big science by itself. And so many aspects are there. Here, our purpose is just to know how to regulate the thoughts in the mind. We want a still mind, peaceful mind. How do I arrive at it is the question. And Swami Vivekananda and earlier Buddha Bhagwan have given very simple methods. And that method we follow here in this Atma Parishodhana Yoga Sadhana. And that is observing the mind. Observing the mind. Mind means flow of thoughts. So sit calmly. In Raja Yoga 6 lessons, he gives the specific instruction, Vivekananda. So also Buddha has given similar instructions. And he has given different methods of meditation, Buddha Bhagavan. And one of them is this. Peacefully sit and try to observe the thoughts that are arising. You don't try to control it, simply observe. You be a witness. And remind yourself that you are a Sakshi Chaitanya. That is, you are a Chaitanya Shakti, just a witness. And you are not the mind. Mind is your servant. You are not the body, you are not the mind also. You are the just observer, intelligent observer. And then observe it. But generally what happens is one gets something dear to him in the form of thought, he follows that. He falls in that flow. And after some time he realizes that instead of doing meditation in the ashram, you are somewhere in the market or in the house or cinema house or whatever it is. So you bring it back again. So you just try to observe then again. You have to dissociate yourself from the body, mind and all that. Anyway, that is the exercise we prescribe, but it's a very big study, this Manomaya Kosha and all that. But then, when we talk about mind control, still mind and all that, the yogis do not look at it as mind, or they don't use that word also. They use the word antakaranam. Antakaranam means inner instrument. And it functions at 4 levels and they give 4 names. So what you call mind, there they, with a deeper understanding, they call it antakaranam, and according to the functional level it is given different names. Antakarana Chatushtayam they call it. Now first manifestation of the mind or the antakaranam is ego. I am, it says, as if it is a separate independent existence. And immediately it has got the characteristic of catching hold of something and saying mine. It catches hold of the body-mind complex. It says, I am this. I and mine. Ahankara, mamakara, they say. The second thing is the chitta. At the level of chitta, the same power, but it has got the ability to convert any thought or action into subtle vasanas. Nowadays we have got good examples. Those the CDs, and also if you see CD, what do you see? You see some lines. But if you put it in the computer or the DVD, you will find out so many words coming, so many pictures coming. All of them are recorded inside. You don't see anything except lines. And there is that, what is that? Pen drive. Still smaller. And yet it records and stores information, words, pictures and so on, to thousands. So this chittam is like something like that. It is capable of converting whatever you do or whatever your thought arises, it will be converted into chitta vasanas and stored there in the chittam. And they say that you have had many births, lakhs of births, and all the vasanas that were converted, they are all there now. Even in this chitta you have. So you can recall them. So there are methods by which you can recall your previous births and so on and so forth. That is what they say. Anyway, according to the Patanjali Maharshi, control the mind or stilling the mind means you must arrest the mental tendencies at the vasana level. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha, he says. He goes deeper than the mind and thoughts. So according to him, stilling the mind means, and if you want to achieve that result, you have to first eradicate the vasanas.